ladies and gentlemen, as we start with the inaugural function, as we begin with our ceremonial lamp lighting, so let's proceed, ladies and gentlemen, starting with a very special inaugural lamp lighting for the India Silver Conference. Some of our very special esteemed guests are already here in the house with us. To do the honors of lamp lighting, I'd like to invite on stage the National Secretary for IBJA, Mr. Surendra Mehta is already in the house. Let's give him a round of applause. Welcome, sir. Also inviting Mr. Chirag, Thakkar, the Director, Amrapali Industries Limited, in the house. I would request Mr. Srivatsava Ganapathy to continue to escort all our guests onto the stage. Mr. Rajesh Rokde is here from All India Gems and Jewelry Council. Inviting Rajesh Rokde ji, मंच पर आपको निमंत्रण sir. उसके साथ ही आगे inviting next Mr. Leeladhar Patidar, the CEO Smelters, Hindustan Zinc Limited. Mr. Michael DiRienzo is here, the Executive Director of the Silver Institute. And ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you our guest of honor for the evening, Madam Nisha Bura. So she will join us as and when she walks in. Let me tell you, Madam Nisha Bura is the Director and Head for Hallmarking Department for the Bureau of Indian Standards. May I request Mr. Srivatsava Ganapathy to join us on the stage as well, as we begin with the lamp lighting. और मेरे साथ सब मिलके एक बार बोलेंगे गणपति बाप्पा मोरया.
गणनायकाय गणदेवताय गणाध्यक्षाय धीमहि गुणशरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय.
Thank you, gentlemen. I would like to request Mr. Srivatsava Ganapathy to join us on the stage to deliver a welcome address to the India Silver Conference. To each one of the guests whose names are already here on the digital board, I request all our guests to kindly proceed back to the stage and take your seats as per the seating arrangement. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands up for Mr. Srivatsava Ganapathy as he takes over the podium to extend a welcome to you.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, Srimati Nisha Bura, who is on the way, Director Head, Hallmarking Department, Bureau of Indian Standards, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Government of India. Mr. Michael DiRienzo, President and CEO of the Silver Institute. Mr. Rajesh Rokde, Chairman, Gem and Jewelry Trade Federation. Mr. Leeladhar Patidar, CEO Smelters, Hindustan Zinc Limited. Mr. Chirag Thakkar, Director, Amrapali, Gujarat. Mr. Surendra Mehta, National Secretary, India Bullion and Jewelers Association. Dignitaries of the stage, expert speakers, silver value chain participants from mining to refining, banking, jewelry, industrial logistics, vaulting, exchange ecosystems, quality systems, and so on, from over 12 countries, representatives from government agencies, representatives from various partner associations, invitees from press and media, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to each one of you at the 4th edition of the India Silver Conference in this beautiful city of Dehradun. Hope you had a pleasant journey and are well rested. The year 2025 was truly unprecedented for silver. While the rally in gold started in the year 2024, silver rally only started in the second half, to be precise, in 2025, triggered by a host of events starting from Trump tariff, geopolitical tensions, supply chain disruptions, rising industrial demand, especially solar and electronic sectors, and increasing investor interest and inflationary pressures. In the Indian market too, there were many regulatory changes such as increased focus on hallmarking compliance by BIS, greater formalization of bullion trade, enhanced transparency in pricing benchmarks by IBJA, and growing regulatory clarity around digital precious metals and ETFs. To top it all, rupee depreciation accelerated in the second half of 2025, increasing the INR rate of silver. All these factors not only increased the price of silver in 2025 from 86,000 per kg in January to around 2,30,000 rupees by December end, a whopping 140% increase, but also doubled the average daily volatility from around 1,500 per kg on a daily basis to around 3,300 by the end of December. Price volatility continued well into the first quarter of 2026 as well, especially January 29th and 30th. I think we will remember it for many more years to come. Extraordinary volatility we have seen on those 2 days. The exchange marketplace such as MCX managed these situations admirably well and ensured smooth operations. Key highlights of 2025 has been the financialization of silver. We witnessed steep increase in the AUMs of silver ETFs and fund of funds during 2025, both in India as well as rest of the world. India's ETF holding increased from around 1,430 tons in December 2024 to around 3,158 tons by December 2025, an increase of about 1,726 tons. A phenomenal increase compared with where we started all. We started ETFs, silver ETFs in India in January 2022. Globally too, the silver ETP holdings grew from 32,000 around by December end to around 40,900 levels in 2025 as per the World Silver Survey. We have also seen steep increase in digital silver in India as well as rest of the world in 2025. All these mean long-term investors have gained handsome during 2025. Inventory held by manufacturers and retailers have also increased in value. However, higher prices as well as high price volatility have led to sharp erosion in demand for silver, both in the traditional sector as well as in the industrial application, such as silver zari, silver foil, electrical contacts, in LV and so on. And as I heard just now, like even from 2026 survey, there has been a decrease in demand from the PV sector, one of the crown jewels of demand. Also, jewelry and industrial product manufacturers face huge challenges in managing working capital as well as pricing in silver volatility. Retail investor buying behavior has changed significantly. The impact of high price and high price volatility in silver of this order is a very new phenomenon. What will be the impact of all these changes in the silver value chain? Perhaps we could get some reasonable clues around these aspects over the period of next 2 days. Immediately after this inaugural, we will try to understand the financialization of silver aspect, both in India as well as rest of the world a little better. And then a quick summary of the World Silver Survey, followed by what's shaping the silver industry in 2026 through a roundtable discussion. Tomorrow, we will start with a keynote from BIS. This will be followed by 6 sessions, beginning with a session on silver jewelry and silverware, then silver recycling opportunity, silver investment demand, silver mining, refining and minting, silver industrial, silver price outlook, as well as, 6 sessions. We have 2 presentations, one from RJC on the role of RJC in the silver supply chain. Other one is a very interesting study on the silver coins market. Last year, MMTC PAMP and we jointly presented a study based on jewelry samples, around 55 jewelry samples we collected online. This time, we attempted a similar study, but using silver coins. Don't miss this session because we're going to really hear a lot of very good news and very good development about the Indian market. Basically, our objective is to understand 2 aspects. Are customers getting the promised purity and weight, and is cadmium present in the silver coins? I also take this opportunity to place on record our sincere gratitude to the program committee as well as all the speakers and presenters for sparing their valuable time and extending the support. Besides the conference sessions, we have ISC Excellence Award a little later in the afternoon, where 21 awards will be announced. These were nominations, these were through a rigorous process, and the nomination committee has done a phenomenal job in this. We will also have opportunity to thank all our sponsors after the award ceremony. Tomorrow in the evening, we have a gala dinner and an after party after that. We have provided enough time for networking on both these days as well as Saturday. An event of this magnitude is not possible without the support of our sponsors, partners, and supporting bodies. I take this opportunity to welcome all our 26 sponsors and partners and 9 supporting bodies and media partners. About 16 exhibitors have chosen to display their products and solutions. Do take some time to engage with them during the break. Dr. Ruchika has already mentioned about like My Eventell app and Slido. Please make use of them so that you can enhance the productivity and outcome from this conference. India Silver Conference is an attempt to address both the trade and industry issues. It's an unique opportunity to engage in conversation with participants from across the silver value chain. Such interaction would help in developing better perspective on the entire value chain and also would help in newer possibilities. India has a huge potential for increasing silver usage in the industrial and creating new solutions using digital infrastructure and for collaboration and growing the global markets for silver jewelry and silverware with countries such as Thailand. We are fortunate to have a representation from Thailand Jewelers Silver Jewelry Association, Silver Exporters Association. I thank them for their presence. It's our humble attempt to steer the conversation in this direction over the next 2 days. Once again, a warm welcome to each one of you and wish you all the very best. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Srivatsava, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, the IBJA, the Indian Bullion and Jewelers Association, is not only a supporting body for the India Silver Conference, but within India, it is the most critical pivot point between the policymakers, the stakeholders, and the beneficiaries. It's a role that IBJA takes very seriously and has been delivering on it year on year. Today, yet again, it is our privilege to have with us the National Secretary of IBJA, Mr. Surendra Mehta. He has held this position since September 2012. Based in Mumbai, he plays a pivotal role in framing policies and representing the bullion and jewelry sector in engagements with the government. Actively involved in industry initiatives that promote transparency, regulation, and growth within India's bullion and jewelry markets. Please put your hands up for Mr. Surendra Mehta.
Distinguished guests on the dais, industry stalwarts, fellow members of the bullion community, and our gracious host for in the beautiful hills of Dehradun, Devbhoomi. It's a privilege to stand before you today at the India Silver Conference 2026. I would like to start by thanking the organizers for bringing us together at such a wonderful venue in Dehradun. Actually, you should have told it's Mussoorie because it's more near to Mussoorie. There is something fitting about discussing the shining matter in a place of such natural clarity and brilliance. The essence of our gathering here in Dehradun is more than just a market update. It's about amplifying the role of silver in India's industrial and financial future. We are moving from a tradition of possession to a future of strategic innovation. For a long time, silver was often referred to as poor man's gold. But as we look at the market today, the narrative is becoming the relic of the past. Silver is no longer just a secondary precious metal, it is a strategic asset. Whether we look at in the industrial indispensability in greener technology, from solar panel to electric vehicles, or its growing appeal as a retail investment, silver is finally stepping out of the shadows. In 2026, we are witnessing a unique convergence. We are seeing an unprecedented shift in global debt cycle and currency valuation that are pushing the investor down towards the security of silver. In India, we are moving beyond traditional silverware and jewelry. We are seeing the financialization of silver through ETF and digital silver, making it accessible to the whole new generation of tech-savvy investor. However, with great opportunity comes the responsibility of regulations and trust. As we discuss the future over the next 3 days, we must confront our challenges head on. The journey towards compulsory hallmarking for silver is vital. Trust is the only currency that never devalues, and we must ensure every consumer feels secure in their purchase. Secondly, as the world focuses on green silver, we need to lead the way in recycling e-waste and recovering precious metal. We are at the juncture where a digital silver is becoming a reality. At IBJA, we are committed to working with regulator to ensure that digital frameworks are robust, transparent, and member-friendly. As many of you know, IBJA has stood as a backbone of Indian bullion market since 1990, almost 107 years back. Our mission has always been to protect the interest of our members while ensuring the highest standard of ethics and transparency. Today, as the National Secretary, I am proud to say that IBJA continues to act as the vital bridge between the industry and Government of India, ensuring that the voice of silver trade from the largest refiners to the smaller retailers is heard at the highest level of policy making. At IBJA, we are currently spearheading initiative that will define the next decade for the silver trade. From setting the benchmark of daily trades to developing comprehensive regulatory frameworks for digital silver and platinum, IBJA is ensuring that India's bullion market remains globally competitive. We are not just an association, we are a community dedicated to the gold and silver standard of integrity. And to inform all of you, this year in the month of June, we are having the exclusive show of 4th edition of silver jewelry and silver artifacts in Mumbai at Geo Convention Center, BKC. My outlook for silver remains exceptionally bullish. Some may call it optimistic, but when you look at the supply-demand deficit and the metals industrial necessity, the trajectory is very clear. This conference is not just about price outlooks, it is about building an ecosystem. It is about the refiner in Gujarat, the jeweler in Mumbai, and the tech innovator of Bangalore coming together to ensure India remains a global hub for silver consumption and trade. I look forward to the roundtable discussion and exchange of ideas that will take place here. Let us use these days to not just track the market, but to shape it. To my fellow delegates, let's keep the momentum of the industry high. The future is bright, and it is undoubtedly silver. My president, Mr. Prithviraj Kothari, due to some previous engagement, is not able to attend this event, but he has also given his best wishes for the same. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mehta, for not only your welcome address, but also for the nuggets of information that you've shared up here on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, except for my international guests that are here in the house, within our Indian guests, I want to find out how many of you have already seen either part one or both the parts of the latest blockbuster to hit the Indian screen since last year. You know which movie I'm talking about. I'm talking about Dhurandhar. How many of you have seen it already? Can I see your hands up? Okay, Harshal sir has seen it. Everyone's seen it, almost. If not both the parts, at least one. The reason I'm saying that is because, ladies and gentlemen, every story has a Dhurandhar. So Bollywood has its own, but silver ecosystem in India has its own Dhurandhar too. He is somebody, who has been putting his heart on his sleeve for silver, and he's been doing it with panache. He is unabashed in his love and passion for silver, and his commitment shines through in everything that he does. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about none other than the director of Amrapali, Gujarat, Mr. Chirag Thakkar, a prominent figure in India's bullion and silver industry, serving as the director of Amrapali Industries, which all of us know is a leading precious metals company with a strong national presence. Known for his innovative thinking and commitment to industry development, he has been instrumental in strengthening silver trade dynamics in India and has been actively involved in various industry platforms and is very well regarded for his thought leadership in silver market trends, trade regulation, and infrastructure development. Ladies and gentlemen, India indeed a pleasure. Each time he takes up the podium, he always leaves us a little bit more enriched. Please put your hands up for the Dhurandhar of silver, Mr. Chirag Thakkar.
I have noted so many points to share with you guys, but the Bhishma Pitama of our industry, Mr. Surendra, has already given so much of data points which are actually helpful for the whole value chain. But still, I'll get something which is really helpful for all of us here. Very good evening. Congratulations to the entire team of Eventell for organizing this beautiful event at a beautiful location. I'm really thankful that we all could come here and be the part of this event. A heartfelt welcome to Surendra Mehta, which I personally call him the Bhishma Pitama of our industry. Mr. Michael was a very old friend of mine, Mr. Leeladhar, Patidar, and Mr. Srivatsava, and none other than our Mr. Rokde, who has a very buland voice. Once he comes to the podium, I'm sure he's gonna make your belly laugh and makes a logic which actually takes you back to the nice days. It's a privilege to be here today at the 4th edition. First of all, many congratulations to all the investors who bought silver in the last year's conference. Many thanks to the factors like increasing demand, investment demand worldwide. A major ride came when ETF flow came into the market, including Indian global ETF markets. The flow, kind of a flow it was, which we never witnessed. The roller coaster ride, what we saw in the last year, which was, we may have not been able to experience it before, but maybe nonetheless, we might see a roller coaster coming in the near future. We don't know. The time will tell us. Having spent years closely working within the bullion and silver ecosystem, I've seen how this metal has quietly but consistently played a very critical role across trade, investment, and industry worldwide. Yet, for a long time, silver did not receive the structured attention it truly deserved. That is now changing. We are at a point where silver is being to be viewed not just as a traditional commodity, but as a financial asset. The theme of this year's conference, the financialization of silver, perfectly captures the momentum. What we are seeing today is a new kind of investor, someone who is informed, digitally, comfortable, and looking at precious metals as a part of long-term financial strategy, which places India in a very interesting position. We are already one of the largest consumers of silver, and now we have the opportunity to build a more organized, transparent, and global aligned silver ecosystem. However, achieving that requires a collective effort. Platforms like the Indian Silver Conference plays a very important role here. They bring together different parts of the ecosystem, industry leaders, policymakers, and global experts, and create the space for this meaningful conversation. To conclude, I would say that silver's journey is entering a new phase. It is gaining the recognition it has long deserved, both as an industrial metal and a financial asset. The responsibility now lies with all of us to shape this momentum in a right direction. Last but not the least, everyone has been thinking why India is buying silver at such a large premiums. Before 2 quarters, everyone had that in their mind, क्यों India इतना premium से metal खरीदता है? But now the results are out. When India buys at a premium, India is always right. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chirag Thakkar, sir. And yes, what he said about Mr. Rajesh Rokde was not really an exaggeration, that's the truth. इनकी आवाज बुलंद है, लेकिन इनके हर शब्द में इतना दम है. A man who is, very, very vocal, and each time he talks about his industry, he talks about the stakeholders, every word is something we hang on to. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of All India Gems and Jewelry Domestic Council, the GJC, Mr. Rajesh Rokde is here. मैं निमंत्रित करूंगी राजेश रोकड़े जी को कि वो मंच पर आएं और एक बार फिर अपनी बुलंद आवाज में हम सबसे मुखातिब हों.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. मंच पे हमारे सभी मान्यवर और इस हॉल में आए मेरे सभी व्यापारी मित्रों, सभी को नमस्कार. अभी बात एमसी कर रही थी, धुरंधर की बात कर रही थी, यहाँ सिकंदर की बात होने वाली है. लेकिन कुछ भी हो जाए, जब अच्छे दिन आते हैं तो एक ही बात बोलते हैं कि आपकी चांदी ही चांदी हुई है. ये सिल्वर कॉन्फ्रेंस है और मैं अगर चांदी की बात कह रहा हूँ, तालियां कम बज रही है, अपने लिए जरूर बजाइएगा, मेरे बातों पे भले ही मत बजाइएगा, लेकिन अपने लिए जब कभी भी मैं चांदी की बात कहूँ तो निश्चित तौर पे ये जो स्लोगन कई सालों, कई हजारों सालों पहले किसी ने बोला होगा, वो आज भी कायम है। मैं यहाँ सेकंड टाइम आ रहा हूँ और पिछले साल भी जब आया था तब एक फिगर पे बात कही थी मैंने अपने हमारे नॉलेज पार्टनर है मेटल फोकस, उन्हीं की एक रिपोर्ट है कि 2024 में 3600 टन के आसपास इंपोर्ट हुई थी सिल्वर, 2025 में 7100 टन, मतलब करीब डबल इंपोर्ट हुई है। ये दर्शाता है कि सिल्वर का मार्केट बहुत जबरदस्त तरीके से ग्रो हो रहा है। देखिए, कॉन्फ्रेंस से सिर्फ बातें करना, सिर्फ जान लेना, इससे कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं होगी। सही मायने में कॉन्फ्रेंस तभी सही ढंग से इसे ग्राउंड जीरो पे जब हम उतारेंगे तब इसका सही मायने में इफेक्ट आएगा। देखिए, ऑल इंडिया जेम एंड ज्वेलरी डोमेस्टिक काउंसिल के होने के नाते, उसका चेयरमैन होने के नाते हम लोग सिल्वर को हमारा एक अभिन्न अंग मानते हैं और मैं एक रिटेलर भी हूँ, इसलिए मैं चांदी के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा अलग मेरा कनेक्शंस है। मैंने मेरी जो ज्वेलरी इंडस्ट्री में मेरा पहला कदम मैंने स्टार्ट किया था तब चांदी से ही स्टार्ट किया था, क्योंकि इजी वे, एक जो वे होता है उस वे, अगर आपको गोल्ड के तरफ या गोल्ड इंडस्ट्री या ज्वेलरी इंडस्ट्री की तरफ जाना है, भले बाद में आप डायमंड रखिए, कुछ भी रखिए, लेकिन इजी वे अगर होता है तो वो सिल्वर होता है। मुझे बहुत आश्चर्य भी लगता है, बहुत सारे ऐसे स्टोर्स है भारत में कि आज भी सिल्वर को लेके वो उसे सेकेंडरी सोचते, लेकिन मैं आज इस कॉन्फ्रेंस के मन से ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि सिल्वर न्यू गोल्ड है। सिल्वर इज द यंगेस्ट चाइल्ड ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री। सिल्वर हमारा भविष्य है। सुरेंद्र मेहता जी ने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले कहा कि कहाँ कहाँ यूज होती है सिल्वर, आप सबको पता है, लेकिन आज भी रिटेल काउंटर में ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सिल्वर का प्रेजेंटेशन, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हर ज्वेलर सिल्वर अपने दुकानों में रखे, एक ऑप्शन बन के सामने खड़े रहे, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से गोल्ड के रेट बढ़े, बहुत सारे ऐसे कस्टमर्स हैं जो सिल्वर में अपनी चीज़ें कंप्लीट करती है, खरीदी होती है। और थोड़ी देर पहले मैं हमारे एक ज्वेलर भाई से बात कह रहा था कि गोल्ड के और सिल्वर के रेट बढ़ जाने से क्या इम्पैक्ट आया सिल्वर और गोल्ड की इंडस्ट्री पे। देखिए, पहले गोल्ड और सिल्वर में एक दो ही महत्व थे, केवल धार्मिक और सांस्कृतिक महत्व था, क्योंकि सिल्वर खरीदना है तो उसके लिए संस्कृति में होना जरूरी है, क्योंकि सिल्वर पहनना है, उसकी तो आयुर्वेद में भी सिल्वर के बारे में बताया गया। अगर आप बच्चे को, जब नया बच्चा होता है, उसको सबसे पहले अगर कुछ खिलाते हैं आफ्टर मदर मिल्क, तो वो चांदी के चम्मच से खिलाया जाता है। तो ये कहीं ना कहीं सिल्वर इतना ज़्यादा हमारे संस्कृति में घुला पिला है, जिस वजह से सिल्वर का भविष्य बहुत उज्जवल है। और अब तो सिल्वर के रेट बढ़ जाने के कारण बहुत बार मैं देखता हूं कि बहुत ज्वेलर्स लोग थोड़े से निराश होते हैं, लेकिन मेरे भाषण में ही मैंने स्टार्टिंग में मैंने कह दिया कि इंपोर्ट अगर बढ़ गया है, इसका मतलब हमारा भविष्य उज्जवल है। सिर्फ एक चीज़ और इसमें ऐड हो गई है, जो है सांस्कृतिक, धार्मिक, आयुर्वेदिक, और इसमें हो गया व्यापारिक महत्व। तो ये व्यापारिक महत्व बढ़ जाने के कारण सिल्वर उज्जवल है, उसमें किसी प्रकार का दो मत नहीं है। और जीजेसी में ऑलरेडी हमारे पास, हम लोग सिल्वर को लेके बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान रखते हैं, और इसके लिए पर्टिकुलर हमारे पास एक रिजर्व सीट होती है कि हमारे पास उस पैनल से जो चुन के आता है वो डायरेक्टर बनता है, जो इस इंडस्ट्री को प्रतिनिधित्व करे और सही मायने में इसे जस्टिस दे। जीजेसी वैसे तो हम लोग एग्जीबिशंस भी करते हैं, हम केवल जन जागृति के अलावा एग्जीबिशंस में भी हमारे पास सिल्वर सेक्शन हम लोग जानबूझ के इसलिए रखते हैं, क्योंकि इसे अनकहा या अनसुना या इसे छोड़ दिया जाए ऐसी सेक्टर को नहीं समझते। और मैं यही कहूँगा कि ये आने वाले दिनों में ये सिल्वर नया धुरंधर बन के आप सबके सामने आने वाला है। और जिस तरीके से यंग जनरेशन, जैसे मैंने सिल्वर को कहा है कि यंगेस्ट चाइल्ड ऑफ द इंडस्ट्री, वैसे ही यंग जनरेशन इसके तरफ बहुत ज़्यादा अट्रैक्ट है। और हम हमारी इंडस्ट्री में केवल जितना हमारे तरफ से हो सकता है वो हम सब कोशिश करते रहते हैं। और मैं मेरी बातों को और ज़्यादा लंबा ना खींचते हुए मैं संक्षिप्त में इतना ही कहूँगा कि अगर मगर किंतु परंतु, मतलब हम लोग कभी अगर मगर नहीं करते, सीधी बात कहते हैं। तो अगर मगर किंतु परंतु, हम ज्वेलर्स सिर्फ कोशिश ही नहीं करते और इतिहास बनाने वाले कभी बहाने की तलाश नहीं करते। तो हम अपनी तैयारी कर चुके हैं और आने वाले दिनों में सिल्वर को जिस तरीके से हम चाहते हैं उस तरीके से हम लोग बिल्कुल, अगर हमने सोच लिया तो कहीं पर भी सिल्वर कॉन्क्लेव से इस आज के इस मंच से आने वाले दिनों में सिल्वर को एक नया आयाम पे, नए मुकाम पे हम ले जाने की पूरी कोशिश है। मैं पुनः एक बार इवेंटेल को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देता हूँ कि मुझे यहाँ बुलाया, मुझे बोलने का मौका मिला, और आज इतनी बड़ी इंडस्ट्री जहाँ जितना भी उत्पादन होता है वर्ल्ड में उससे 20% से ज़्यादा सिल्वर केवल और केवल भारत में कंज्यूम होती है। तो ये बहुत ही मतलब बड़ी इंडस्ट्री है, इसे एक अलग तरीके से देखना बहुत ज़रूरी है। थैंक्स वंस अगेन, थैंक यू।
आपका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद राजेश रोकड़े सर। Ladies and gentlemen, as Mr. Rokde was using some of the most popular and some of the most loved phrases in India, like Chandi hi Chandi, ya for example, Muh mein Chandi ka chammach, born with a silver spoon, we still say that. You know, there is a paradigm shift that I've noticed in the discourse about silver, especially over the last 1 year. Traditionally always known as the poor man's gold, silver was this one, one item kept in the house that nobody cared about, every once in a while, one, the woman of the house would just polish it, keep it away, like some family silverware. Nobody would even talk about it. You buy a new diamond, you would talk about it. You acquire something in gold, you would end up talking about it with your friends and everything. For the first time in the last 1 year, I saw silver turning into a bragging point in people. People were, proudly flaunting their ownership of silver, and that is probably one of the biggest change in the mindset that has come within people. People want to own silver now. They want to talk about it. They are constantly clued in about the levels that silver is touching. Suddenly, silver is the new darling of the marquee. And I hope this run continues, because when we talk about silver, if there is one name that is almost synonymous with silver here in India, it is nothing less than Hindustan Zinc Limited. Not only is it the pride of India, today we have with us the CEO, Smelters of Hindustan Zinc, Mr. Leeladhar Patidar, a seasoned professional. He manages with aplomb and effortlessly the entire functions of his business unit. And today he is here to share with us his deep insights about beautifully metamorphosing precious commodity. Please put your hands up for Mr. Leeladhar Patidar.
आपने मेरा आधा काम तो पहले ही शॉर्ट कर दिया था कि हम देवभूमि में बैठे हुए हैं और सिल्वर की बात कर रहे हैं. So good evening everyone, distinguished guests, leaders sitting on the dais, respected industry leaders, policy makers, partners and member of media, and my colleagues. Thank you for joining today. It is privileged to be here when we talk about silver at the time when artificial intelligence, digital, renewable energy is become the talking points. And the present geopolitical conditions also is one where we need to think about how silver is going to play a bigger role for us. सबसे पहले जब सिल्वर की बात करते हैं तो सबसे पहले माइंड में वही आता है कि it is for jewelry and then ornaments. But if we talk about how the basically human life evolution has happened और सिल्वर का ट्रांजिशन कैसे हुआ from divinity to utility. जब हम देवभूमि में उठे हैं तो हम लोग बात करते हैं कि स्पिरिचुअलिटी के साथ सिल्वर कैसे इंगेज था. बिकॉज पहले जब हमको पढ़ाया जाता था या जब हम जानते हैं उस टाइम से स्पिरिचुअलिटी के टाइम से बोला जाता था कि जो मेटल्स हैं वो गॉड गिफ्टेड है, चाहे वो चर्निंग ऑफ ओशियंस हो, वहाँ से कुछ प्रीशियस मेटल निकले हो. सो ऑल दिस वर कनेक्टेड एंड सिल्वर वॉज कनेक्टेड ऑलवेज टू द लूनार, द इवोल्यूशन ऑफ कॉमर्स. बिकॉज silver today is playing a connection, but silver is having also a history how he has connected the complete world. It was because silver has played a significant role in the daily life. Human economics की जब बात करें तो gold was for king and silver was for the people, the poor people. Silver also has connected globally, complete the world, because initially silver has flowed from the west to the India and China through the Silk Route for the silk and spices, and that is the first time silver has made us connected. Third time which has come is for the industry and chemical leap. Because अगर हम देखें visual age को, जहाँ पे photography almost for a century, silver has played a critical role for photography for capturing the history, and that was played a bigger role. बाद में बात हुई आयुर्वेदा की, the hygiene evolution, the silver was also known for the hygiene. It is being used in the rural India as a protector from the germs. Earlier silver polish was done on the mirror, so mirror was one of the area where it has been done, and then the surgical start. But when we talk about the modern India in 21st century, so silver is not only a store of value, it is now become a critical metal for the necessity, and that's where the role of Hindustan Zincs come into the play. Because when we are talking about net zero by 2070, silver is going to play a bigger role. Because silver is used for the photovoltaic cells, and around 18.5 ton of silver is required per gigawatt of solar panels. And if we talk about that, almost 150 gigawatt of additional solar panel will be installed in India by 2030, which takes our demand to around 550 ton of silver annually. Supply chain is become now vulnerable. If we talk about the EV, because silver is now at three places. One is on energy transition, mobility, and also for the digital. So when you talk about mobility, EV is almost using double, or I would say not double, around 1.7 to 1.8 times what conventional cars are using the silver. So that is also a huge requirement for silver there. So infrastructure is one area where it is coming. Make in India, that is what the government of India also saying, and our Honorable Prime Minister says we have to make in India for the world also. So silver is going to play a bigger role because we are working on semiconductors. We need the data centers. And the projection for data center by 2030 is going to be 5 gigawatt earlier, but with the present Middle East, the situations we are having, it is estimated that India's data center expansion will go up to 6 gigawatt. It means that need lot of energy, lot of silver. The forecast becomes we are today consuming almost 25% of the silver but is being used in the world, and 70% or 75% is almost imported one. So it is very important for us that we have a strategic reserve for the silver. The investment also is shifting to the ETF, which the earlier speaker has talked about. And the circular economy is area where really India need to work, because we have limited mines, we have limited resources. We need to get back the silver through the circular economy, through the e-waste. When we talk about Hindustan Zinc, we are the primary producer of silver in India, and we are the leading producer in the world also. When we talk about how Hindustan Zinc is going to play a bigger role for the requirement which is going to come for the silver is, Hindustan Zinc is going for massive transformation to double down its metal capacity. And when we talk about double down its capacity, we have focus of around 1,500 ton of silver production by 2030. So that is the aim which we have taken. When we talk about circular economy also, Hindustan Zinc is investing almost 4,000 crore rupees for getting the silver through from the recycling and the tailing. And that plant is going to be one of the biggest plant in the world for the tailing recycling, and that will give us the silver. When we talk about sustainable operation, our Pantnagar plant is 100% based on the renewable energy. So we already run our operation on 17% as renewable energy, but our Pantnagar plant is operating on 100% on the renewable energy, and that is how we are going to play a bigger role. What we need to work is, already has been discussed, the requirement, the shifting is happening not as the metal for the jewelries, but it is required for the industrial applications. And the ecosystem for self-dependent on the silver and associate products is a challenge, and that's where the complete industry associated with silver need to work on. Silver economy and the circular economy for reducing import is going to be one. And second is on the policy, how that will benefit the circular economy, how it can also benefit the people who are coming forward for the recycling of the e-waste and everything. So with that, I'll thank you everyone for participating in this function, and I would request that it is going to play a bigger role for putting up our hands together, how we are going to support the India's growth. And this 3-day session will definitely support us, everyone, everyone. It will also give an insight for us also, how we have to play a bigger role when we are the primary producer for silver in India. Thank you.
We have the President and CEO of the Silver Institute. Please put your hands up for Mr. Michael DiRienzo, who yet again needs no introduction, one of the most premium bodies of silver research in the world, and also one of our very, very big supporting bodies.
Thank you very much. Dear conference delegates, it's always nice to be back in India. Your importance to the global silver market continues to expand, and it's my pleasure to offer some opening remarks here at the 4th India Silver Conference. It's also nice to see so many member company representatives in the audience, including Phil Baker, who gave a great master class on silver. Phil also sits on our executive committee and has been a past chairman of the Institute twice. So we rely on his leadership and guidance for many, many issues. I'd like to thank Vatsa and his entire team at Eventell for their dedication and organization of this conference. You have prepared a terrific program, and we all stand to learn from the excellent speakers, panelists, and sessions. It was just last week that the Silver Institute released the 2026 edition of the World Silver Survey, which is literally the leading global publication on the silver market. We had events in both New York City and in Mexico City, and in just a few moments, we'll release the 2026 edition here in India, obviously with the great support, guidance, and research from Metals Focus. One thing you will take away from this year's survey is the importance and the growing importance of India on the global silver market. So we are very proud to support this important conference. The Institute has market development programs in Mexico, Peru, China, and in India. The term global market especially applies to silver, and especially here in India. From ongoing supply challenges, delivery issues, to silver's use in a growing number of applications, the global silver market reacts accordingly, professionally, and with purpose, all on behalf of our white metal. So on behalf of the Silver Institute, its members and supporters, I wish to thank you for this great conference and the opportunity to speak for you, or in front of you, as well as enjoying the conference myself. One of the things that Phil had mentioned was, being ears and talking to folks. And I'm really interested in learning a little bit more about your digital platforms, which are relatively new to the market, but it's something we're exploring quite strongly at the Silver Institute. So please come to me, and I look forward to that conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. DiRienzo. And we hope that the agenda that you have in mind for the conference this year is fulfilled to your satisfaction. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, I now invite Madam Nisha Bura onto the stage. She's the Director and Head of Hallmarking Department at the Bureau of Indian Standards, which is a national standards body responsible for safeguarding and ensuring the purity of the precious metals delivered to the end consumer.
Dignitaries on the dais, all the participants. I'm sure the participants include the whole ecosystem of our silver infrastructure in the country and beyond our country. First of all, I would like to thank the event managing organization for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact with the stakeholders at this wonderful platform. And the timing is really very important here. Reason being that you all know that in hallmarking, gold hallmarking, we have almost stabilized the ecosystem. We are going forward for good enhancement practices. With regard to silver, the scheme is still voluntary in nascent stage, and we look forward to have a better participation of our stakeholders, and the government is looking forward to see whether it is the right time or the industry is matured enough to take a further step to mandate the silver hallmarking scheme as well. And for the purpose, it is like we have been doing the market survey and ground level, experience we are taking. We are meeting with the different stakeholders here with us. We know what is the current situation, what is the demand from the market. Accordingly, let us see how the government looks forward and what steps does the government take. But yes, of course, we are going to do lots of consultation, lots of discussions, and your issues, your points would be taken up ahead. And I think through this conference, it would be a mutual learning. We would be able to convey on the behalf of BIS, Bureau of Indian Standard, that what we are doing, what is way ahead, what we plan to do. And parallelly, we'll get to know what the industry is doing in the field, and that would be a great learning for me. So I look forward to have enriched experience for today and tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Nisha ma'am. With this, as we move ahead, ladies and gentlemen, we conclude the addresses by all of our esteemed guests onto the stage, but This year also, something special has taken shape. Bullion World has brought out the first volume of Silver Industrial Products, Global Giants, the first volume in the form of a premium coffee table book. This book presents the fascinating journey of leading global companies across the silver industrial products value chain that over several decades have not only achieved remarkable success, but also contributed significantly to the growth and transformation of silver's industrial applications worldwide. You can already see a QR code displayed on the screen. You can scan the QR code and directly download your copy of the book. But also, I would like to request Mr. Srinivas Murthy and Mr. Pratik Tambre of Bullion World to please join us on the stage and present the copies to the esteemed guests up here. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting to you Silver Industrial Products, the first volume of the Global Giants. Well, this is a book that has a collector's value, and we hope to build more and more volumes on it. Mr. Srinivas Murthy and Mr. Pratik Tambre are the forces behind, collating this entire material. Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Tambre. Thank you, Mr. Murthy. There is one more ceremony, I would rather use the word, which is left, and that is presenting the mementos to each one of our esteemed guests on the stage. I would like to request Mr. Chirag Thakkar to do the honors for this.